Seraphim17 once again. This is more Royal Invasions in Dark Souls. So I am effectively getting rid of all the old gameplays that I've got. I haven't uploaded PVP in quite some time, and it's back through popular demand because a lot of people have been asking for it. I've got a lot of it stored up, and I'm going to get rid of it, so here we go. I don't quite know the quality of these invasions. Like I say, I'm just getting rid of all the ones I've got, so chances are, Jesus, that is rough. I'm probably not... There's going to be a mixture of good, bad, weird. But then again, that's Dark Souls, so everybody's going to have their own impressions on what these invasions are, so we'll go through them together and we'll all come to a different conclusion. But this guy smashes me, as you just saw, with a Sunlight Blade Great Axe, and then these serfs get involved and nearly kill him, which is awkward because he was winning, and I'd immediately switch to the rapier to try and get a backstab off on him because he smashed me with that axe, and the serfs just interrupted it, which I'm going to probably try and get some PvP where I try and kill the invader with the enemies, because it's just so silly when the NPCs are doing the thing and shit starts getting serious. But the host is having troubles fighting them because he's got a slow weapon and they do interrupt you quite well, and he does heal, so I'm going to pop a humanity and we're going to start again, which is kind of sucky because he was winning, and for all intents and purposes he might lose now, which is really bullshitty. But he does a taunt, I assume as a thank you that I didn't jump him with the enemies, and we restart, and I thought he'd run out of buffs, but lo and behold, there is the Darkmoon Blade. So we're back into a situation where he has a very strong weapon, but he doesn't have a lot of poise, so I can definitely exploit that, and he's got a lot of miracles. Just throws a little bit of lightning at me, which is always fun to see, because that is one of those spells that really doesn't work that great. That's me failing to toggle out all that effectively. That was weird. Looked like a backstab on my screen, but on his screen he was probably completely elsewhere. Another thing that could be a risk here, folks, if you watch a lot of my PvP content, you might have seen this before. It might have cropped up before, so I apologise in advance for that, but I can guarantee not all of them will be repeats, if any are. It's just my computer's getting so filled with PvP that I really need to moderate it better, and as soon as I commentate stuff I'm going to start deleting it now. But whoa, so that guy shouldn't have lost, but he did because of circumstance more than anything. This is dude in Silver Knight's gear with a good old Burger King mask and a Zweihander with magic weapon on it. He's not being the typical Zwei user, which is useful, but he's doing that. And I remember this fight because people do that a lot, and the rolling attack on a weapon is useful, especially on the Zwei, because it's got a lot of range, and he's probably using perhaps a Leo ring to get that poke damage, and that is weird. What is that? Just, I'm staring at the guy, and then I'm backstabbed. Wow, that's a fun one. But I know what he's going to do, because he's going to roll and he's going to poke. Watch, he's going to... It's all he's going to do. He's going to roll away, he's going to poke. He's going to roll away, he's going to poke. And that's pretty much what he's going to do. It's spacing, it's... You can call it smart play. Some people will call it spammy because he's using the same technique. I should punish it better than I do. You know, I know how to parry that move. I know how to parry that completely, and I don't. And it might be because my timing against this weapon wasn't as good. It might be a whole stack of reasons, but on the day, this guy does this a lot. Like, he's got a lot of stamina as well to be able to do that. Keep on rolling and doing those attacks. That right there was silly on my part. I should have responded to the fact that he'd come close to do the roll attack, but I didn't. And a lot of it is down to my impatience. I am not a very patient fighter. And that's Dark Souls right there. But, you know, he didn't heal, he fought fairly. That's all you can ask, really. Although some people have, you know, very different impressions of what fair fighting is, which is completely just part of the ambiguity of Dark Souls. But this is me getting invaded, which is something I don't often show unless I'm in the Berg. And it's kind of funny because this is a guy who's in this area trying to get through it, and I invade him later on. And it's one of those encounters where I don't think he really knows what he's doing. He's just kind of doing. And when I ever get into a fight like this, I like to see what the enemy is doing. And look, he had a fucking clue. He's running away. He's probably going to change his equipment or try and pull a horde of enemies. But I'm not going to bite because, you know, I'm not a dumb player for the most. I try to intelligently assess things. And I think he's just changed his gear and he's going to come back. Yeah, he's changed to an Evelyn, and he's changed to the Moonlight Butterfly Horn. Oh no, he hasn't changed the Moonlight Butterfly Horn. He's still got the Silver Knight. He's just put the Evelyn on. Which, the Evelyn is heavy. He needs some serious endurance to move as fast as normal folks while using that. And he's just trying to pull me into the Stone Giants, which I've got note. I'm not even going to bite at that point. And it stems from the fact he's not probably a PvP guy. He's invading maybe to get souls, maybe to test it out, maybe to try it. You know, Silver Knight's spear poking one-handed. It's just, I don't know, interesting. And don't get me wrong, there are people who use the Silver Knight spear like monsters. You get a good player with that weapon, and you're in trouble. A good player with that weapon will never hide behind a shield. And I point him down because he was trying to pull mobs. But there's no malice behind it, guys. I just do it for the sake. And when you get invaded, when you're trying to invade, it's so inconvenient because you use all your abilities so that when you do invade, you don't have any. And you'll notice I don't have any Wrath of God should I need it now, because I used it against him. So if this is gankers, or if this is a guy hiding behind a shield, or a guy healing, I'm going to have to either get really backstab happy, which I've got absolutely nothing against, or I'll just outplay him. Him, her, they, who knows. We'll soon find out. Let's have a look. So, Chester's there. We've got a host stood around. Host with an eagle shield, and he's casting pursuers. Oh, I remember this. So, I'm really confident with my ability to roll through pursuers. And that was perfect on my screen. Absolutely perfect. On his screen, not so much. So I take some massive damage, and he casts it again. Which is clever, he's using his build. But every time, it's so funny. Like, before this fight, I was fighting people with pursuers. I was rolling through it like a baller, and on this one, just didn't go my way at all. And speaking of baller, this guy's got the Baldur's side sword, and he loves doing the poke. I'm pretty much dead, which is all she wrote for that invasion. But a good example there, if I'd have had Wrath of God left, I would have probably used all 3 castings to try and eke the victory. But the fact that I didn't is I didn't have it, so it does affect your play. You know, it's interesting to see how much it does. Sometimes it's not so much, sometimes it is. Like, my strength build doesn't have any backup sorceries at all. He doesn't use a bow, so he uses throwing knives, and that's all he's got. And it can be really awkward not having a pyromancy or a Wrath of God or whatever you want to use. What's going on here? So it looks like the guy hasn't activated the elevator, which means he's probably on his way around this first area. The way to tell how far a guy is through a level is when you run to the bridge. If Calamite comes, it means he hasn't been to the bridge. But this guy stood in the middle of these flowers, and he bows. He's got pretty much full stone armor. He's using the Greatsword, Gwyn's sword, which means he's been through New Game. So he's on New Game Plus. And I remember this fight. I've spoke about this fight before. Because I send this guy a message that if you're going to bow, what is the fucking point in healing? And he took it for me to he took it to mean that I thought I would have won if he hadn't have healed. And that's exactly right, because I was beating him. And this is when I realised as well that the Great Lord Greatsword can still stun lock. A lot of people say stun locking doesn't exist anymore, but it really does, folks, if you use the right weapon. But there you go. There's the heal. When somebody heals, it ruins it for me, in my opinion. A lot of people who I've asked why did you heal during a fight say the same thing. They didn't want to lose, which I suppose is valid, but yeah, this is me getting stun locked to shit, which is hilarious, because it shouldn't happen. So I return the healing kind, and I get hit with some wicked phantom range, because this guy's an American. They always are when I play anyway, and there is a stun lock to my death, so you know, he won. There's no getting around that. I have no qualms about him beating me. He beat me fair and square, minus the heal. But as soon as you heal, dude, you ruined the fight. And when I sent him a message, he got really proud and douchey really quickly, and it just sucked, because I wasn't rude, I was polite. I literally said, if you're going to bow, dude, next time please don't heal, you ruined the fight. And it was like, oh well, it didn't stop you losing, and he just got all dickish. And Dark Souls is filled with people like that, unfortunately. But this is the guy that invaded me. I end up invading him, which is a nice bit of vengeance. And the fight goes a very similar way. I realise that he's going to hide behind his shield. I'm not probably going to use my wrath, so I'm going to bleed him, which is one of the advantages of the katana. Or that poise backstab, which, if you know anything about poise, you want to be real careful if your opponent has it, because he can do that. And it's easy to do as well. Poise backstabs are the easiest backstab to do, and this guy in front of me can do it for days if he chooses to. There's me fucking up a setup parry. There's me landing a setup parry. On a big Havel. Now he's going to be panicking. Because it's such a power trip. Oh no, he's pulled out the pyromancy. So there's 2 combustions. There's 1 Wrath of God. He's gonna heal too. He tried twice. Oh, they don't make him like they used to. Wow. Again! Jesus Christ, dude. It's not working. It's really not working. I love this guy. Because there he goes, his defensive wall of combustion. This is so funny. Oh, can I knock him off? Oh, that would have been great. I should let him heal. This guy's a baller, but I didn't. Just keep on fucking him up with those Lloyds. At least the benefit of this fight is after this he's gonna know if he's all smoky and blue like he is right now, his Estus Flask isn't gonna work. But God, it's so funny. Lloyd's, that one missed. No, it didn't miss. Or he was still under the influence. Look at me just tossing him at him. Oh, this poor guy. Oh, poor guy. I wonder what he's doing running around this forest in human form. Because if he's going for summons, they're generally on this bridge. They're generally before you enter the forest. Maybe he doesn't know better. Maybe he wants invaders to get some easy money. Who knows? But that is Dark Souls anyhow, guys. That is the 4th of my Royal Invasions. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.